Okay, just a quick problem I need to address, guys, and no offense to any of my fans. If you like my content, keep watching, keep enjoying. I appreciate the fact that you guys are enjoying my content, but there is one thing I am not going to deal with. When you have a channel with the same name as mine, when I know damn well I've had mine longer, that becomes a problem. And I don't mean to make this any issue or anything, but I work very hard on what I do. If I notice you had came up with this idea before, no disrespect, I am not trying to take your content, your fans, or anything. I am a neutral and I don't want anything to do with drama. I don't like drama. I am very passive to God in what I do, and I love doing what I do, and I have more respect for anybody who loves my stuff, but I will not deal with this. This is ridiculous and it is wrong to stalk someone, demand that they change their content when they've been working hard on it themselves for a very long time. And I've been doing this for almost about a year now. And I know I started at a later time last year, but I mean, I've been working very hard on this, and it takes a lot of hard work. Trust me, I put in hours upon hours in recording and editing this stuff, and I know some of it's probably not the greatest, and I'm not the best narrator around, but you know, I don't like that. I try to avoid it. With that being said, I hope you enjoy the video and many more to come. I love all you guys, and I enjoy the support I get. In fact, I enjoy every comment, like, share, view, mainly views. I'm not really into all that other stuff, but thank you for those who have been here for me. With much respect and love to my fans, thank you. Now to the video.
Mr. Scary Studios. Number 1.
This is a quick story about a stalking experience that just happened yesterday. There hasn't been a resolve yet, and although I was not the primary target, a group of my friends, including myself, were still involved. It was certainly terrifying, and a huge slap in the face from reality, to always make sure you are aware of your social media following and privacy. We have an iMessage group chat going on, about 7 friends and myself. One of the friends, Kay, is kind of the annoying little sister type and gets on all of our nerves, but we tolerate her. Kay sends us a screenshot of a conversation with her younger cousin, who is either a senior in high school or a freshman in college. He tells her that he is on Tumblr and that a photo of Kay showed up on his feed. He proceeded to reblog. Kay is confused because the photo is random selfie from Instagram, which she rarely uses and is set to private in addition. Neither she nor any of the people in the group chat even use Tumblr. She asks her cousin for a link to the site. Upon skimming the website, we find, to our horror, that the Tumblr is brimming with photographs of all 5 girls in the group chat. Individual posts with personalized captions of photos taken from our respective Instagrams, most of which are private. The further back we viewed the page, the creepier it got, because it seemed like the page was targeting one particular girl in our group. 90% of the photos the individual posted were just of Q, mostly taken from her Instagram. There were love poems dedicated to her, sentimental captions accompanying some photos such as Q and her loving parents, and even some photos that were obtained from her Facebook account. Despite all settings in being private, the owner of Tumblr seems to be an adult male from a country different to where we live, who occasionally posted things that were more personal to him, such as a photo of an ice skating rink in his neighborhood, or a YouTube link to a homemade footage from like 8 years ago that he helped produce. Through my own investigation, the person does seem to be real, though the primary purpose of the site looked like a shrine of sorts dedicated to Q. There were in fact other posts, such as lyrics to random old songs by obscure artists which hinted at the owner's age. There were photos pulled from my own Instagram, such as zoomed in and cropped pic of my face taken from a group shot. The most horrifying part was one of the older photos he had posted. This photo was just not one of Q's pulled from her social media. It was a photograph of 2 real framed photos in the person's home of Q. The caption for that photo indicated that the stalker had been dedicated to her since 2012. 2012. We just came across this Tumblr in 2017. Needless to say, we were all thoroughly stunned and frightened. We had no idea what to do. Q proceeded to send an angry message to the owner via some link on their page, and just like that, the page was deleted. We have no more leads, although I've been doing my own research on trying to find out the identity of the person. I'm not even sure what we can do from here, seeing how we no longer have evidence except for screenshots of the site that we took, as well as way back archived link of the site. Any advice would be appreciated. Thank you.
Number 2.
As a starter, I'm in my 20s and work in my own family-run restaurant in my foreign country. Never had problems with any customer till the day I met this fucked up guy in his 30s or so. He seemed very laid back at start, but things deteriorated as he got over comfortable with me and noticed a girl equal in age as me and from my area. The guy carried a laptop with him and elegantly asked me if he could sit away from the crowd of people as he had work to complete on his laptop. After picking up his order, I left him alone and switched talking to the girl instead. But every time I tried making conversation with her, he would call me from afar waving his hand. I had to excuse myself to the girl several times, and when asked what I could do for him, he replied, "You're cock-blocking me," with a monotonous voice. Firstly, I didn't know what to make out of it, because instantly realized that he didn't want to talk with the girl. I asked him in that way. I was countering him. He was quite far from her. And what sounded creepy as hell, he overconfidently said, "I had plans, and it's got nothing to do with you." After a response like that, awkwardness came to arise, and what I saw on from the corner of my eyes was pornographic material on his laptop. He knew I saw it as he pulled his laptop towards himself. I left him alone and continued what I was supposed to do, but in my head I wanted to inform the girl of the supposedly creep who he actually is. Once I went back to her, I saw him stood up and walking towards me, reminding me what I'm not to do, and then headed to the toilets. I took the chance once she got curious what all of that was, so I briefly told her not to care and not to make contact with him. I cared for her safety, so I acted intelligently, and I remembered I had a receipt from another customer who had already left and handed it to her once he realized she wasn't leaving. Then I heard that annoying voice of his saying, "Are you still there?" and had the courage to sit with her to occupy her time and ask if she had plans for tonight and if she wanted to stay at his place for the night while trying to fiddle with her hair. This was painfully uncomfortable for us. Now kind of aggressive here. So I stopped acting as a waiter and showed my true self and arrogantly said, "Leave her alone and get lost." I swear I was expecting this guy getting really nasty with me from his terrifying gaze, but frankly he got up, didn't say anything, paid and left the place with a pissed off frown. As for her, she became a close friend and thanked me for that horrible evening.
Number 3.
If you ever feel like you're being followed, drive to your nearest police station or hospital. Here's a quick story from my dearly departed mother that has stuck with me in 1980. She was 25 and living on the border of LA and Orange County in a little town named La Habra in Southern California. She was driving home in her 77 white Trans Am after a long managerial shift at Jack in the Box. About 1 a.m., shortly after leaving the parking lot, she notices a dark car pull in behind her and stay close behind. After 10 minutes and a few turns later, she realized that they were in fact following her. My mom is 5'2", was roughly 120 pounds, and at the time she was married to a cop. She knew immediately that going home was not an option as her hubby was on duty. So she did the next best thing. She went to him. Once she turned onto the main street that the PD was located, the car sped up and drove off in a huff. She continued on and met an officer she knew in the parking lot. As he was getting out of his personal vehicle, she was told over and over that she did exactly what she was supposed to do, then went on to tell her that so many women just should go home, thinking they'll be safe inside or try to lose them and end up lost themselves in a new place they didn't know their way around. Driving to the police department or the hospital is enough to deter most bad guys. Be safe out there.
Number 4.
I was about 10 or 12 at the time, and I was shopping with my mom at Walmart. We were getting quite a lot of food for dinner, and we were doing all the stuff normal people do at the store. We were getting some frozen food. I believe it was pizza or something. And I saw this old man in either his 30s or 40s standing next to us. I didn't pay much attention to him, as he was just a customer like us. About an hour later, we were done shopping and we went into the small self-checkouts. We scanned the items and paid. Apparently my mom noticed something because she said, "Stay close to me," when we were putting stuff in the cart. We walked outside and my mom looked back and rushed us to find the car. It was rather cold outside, but I didn't care because I was wondering why we were hurrying. As we looked around for the car, a car drove kind of slowly, but my mom noticed it. I saw the car but didn't think anything of it. Finally, I broke the ice and said, "Did someone die or something?" She nervously laughed and said no. We found the car finally after a few minutes of walking. I hopped into the car. My mom wouldn't let me help, and told me to stay in the car while she put the cart away. She locked the doors and I buckled up, still wondering what was going on. Once she got inside, I asked her what happened again. This dude was following us around and kept driving near us while we were finding the car. Luckily, he didn't see us get in. She also said he was in all the aisles we were in. I was in shock. Someone was following us and I didn't know. I saw him get into his car. He was trying to act natural, like he didn't just try to follow us. But he didn't see me. I kept looking behind me as we went home. I was so paranoid and I hoped he didn't follow us home. The weird thing was he kept looking at me while we were in the store. He must have thought my mom was a teen mom with a child. I never saw that man again. Well, at least I think so. I forgot what he looked like. Anyways, creepy old man stalking us in Walmart. Let's not meet. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.